us about this. Tell us about the CD, man. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, man. It's a pivotal project for me because this is like my chance, or this was my chance for me to show people who I really am, you know, who I naturally am. And, you know, all my other albums were dope, man. I feel like, you know, musically, you know, I mean, they were phenomenal. But I never really, you know, opened up on an album like this, you know, records like, you know, One Day, All I Want, you know, even Paper Route and Fly Motherfucker, you know, it really just I had a blank canvas, and it felt like I was a new artist again, and I could just say whatever I wanted and start over again.
Yeah. What do you think has contributed to the success of, you know, the music making machine of ATL in particular? Let's say over the last 10 years. I mean, including your generation of music. I mean, of course, we had like the 4 or 5 was laying the platform as far as Outkast and what have you. You know, prior to that, but it just seems like Atlanta seems to persevere. Like, you know, 10, 20, going on 30 years now. You know,
it's like, you know, Atlanta's a close-knit community, man. It's like don't nobody really have issues with each other in Atlanta, and we take pride in being from Atlanta, but at the same time, you know, if you just listen to the Atlanta radio, you don't get a full sense of like what Atlanta's about, you know what I'm saying? It's not just like ratchet and strip clubs, although we do like that, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, but it's like, it's so much more to it, man. And I think records like, you know, Paper Route and even Cranberry Moonwalk, man, and, you know, records like that, it really shows the diversity of what we bring to the table musically.
It's because, yeah, I mean, like you said, I think it's a combination of it's very organic, it's very southern, it could be street hood, you know what I'm saying, but also it seems like even with the you know, Atlanta's my second home, so even in the hoodest of hoodest cats, you know what I'm saying, the most gangster cats that you might meet in Atlanta, they still have it's a level of consciousness.
Yeah, and it is, man, because like even when I was doing mixtapes, you know, I had songs like, you know, the most eclectic songs. I had the most hood folks, you know, with priors and warrants and, you know, singing, and you don't know where to go, but you're in the rain. I like singing, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, it just let me know that, like, you don't have to make no, like, street music to try to be, you know what I'm saying? You know
Someone
what I'm saying?
you're not,
it's like, it's just about the good music, you know what I'm saying? Whether that music be pop or hip-hop or rock, it just need to be good.
How did you originally get discovered, or would you say you got discovered? Was it originally through the mixtape scene, or?
For me, man, I got discovered. I mean, it's been levels of discovery. You know what I mean? Like, I got discovered in the underground level from, you know, T.I.'s open mic at Club Crucial. Okay. You know, the right people were there, and, you know, TJ's, DJs, real influential core DJ was in the crowd, and he ended up, you know, co-managing me along with B. Rich, who's a longtime manager, and. You know, and then from that point, I put out 7 mixtapes, and then The Adventures of Bobby Ray, when that album came out, then it was like I was discovered on a global level. And that was an interesting moment as well because, you know, a lot of the underground fans, you know, who have been following me, you know, hip-hop culture, this urban culture, we territorial, so it's like, what's Bob doing? Why is he going over there hanging with all those white people? What's going on? You know what I mean? It's like, I really had to, you know, adjust to the change of pace because I wasn't really trying to make no pop album. That's just, you know.
Those are the people that embrace your music.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely want to talk to you about that. Shout out to Tip as well. We were just hanging out in New York.
Yeah.
You know, I know that, you know, they're still involved in your career, and it's been, you know, a great journey. Let's talk about, you know, the transition of, you know, the titles that they put on our different genres of music, and you know, singing and rapping. First of all, what did you grow up listening to? Because you're very diverse, and what type of music did you personally just like?
Man, I actually grew up listening to hip hop. I was a hip hop head. DMX, Nas, Outkast, Eminem. I mean, all of it. You know, Biggie, Pop. You know, I was a hip hop head. My brother was a hip hop head. He got me in music. My brother was also a rock head. And I wasn't a rock head yet. I was like, why is he listening to all this, like, Smashing Pumpkins, Nirvana, You know, when I got older, I developed a taste for it, you know, and I started playing the guitar. I actually picked up the guitar when I was like 19, 20. And, you know, just being exposed to you know, many different walks of life and many different people, it opened my mind up, and I was like, okay, if I'm a hip hop fan and I've been a hip hop fan, and I like rock music, I can take the elements that I like from rock and put it into what I normally like, and then come up with something different. You know what I'm saying?
How many instruments do you play, man?
Man, guitar, bass, keys. I actually knew how to play piano first, but guitar is more natural to me because it's like, you know, something you can just hold, you know what I'm saying? Strum to the ladies a little bit.
What's the creative process for you, like, you know, creating these records, you know, breathing life into these, you know, these timeless songs that you make?
Man, it's time, man. You gotta really take time with it. You know, there's no, you know, some songs do come very fast, and you know, us artists like to make you think that you know we can just roll some dice and come up with a hit. But I mean, some songs do come fast like that. You know, like Throwback was really me. Like I was in the studio playing with this Irish lore sample, and you know, just chopping it up and tricking it out, and you know, going in the booth, you know, messing around. But truth be told, man, a lot of these songs you got to spend time with. Like I think John Doe, I spent the most time with because I had to rewrite the verses like probably like 4 or 5 times. So it's like 5 different versions to the song, and I didn't stop until I got the best one.
Now, was that just something just internally that you went through, or was it you know, was it a creative control issue?
It just wasn't right. You know, I'm one of the people where I don't like, you know, creative control is one thing, but you know, you still gotta do what people, you know, you gotta get, like for example, if I make like 12 songs, I'ma like all 12 of them songs. But I'm only gonna put on my album what I'm getting good feedback on, you know what I'm saying? Cause I could like a song for a reason beyond, you know, just a music consumer. I may like it cause I put a guitar in it, or I stayed up all night, you know, trying to nail this guitar part. But that don't mean that the song is good, it just means that I nailed the guitar part. So, so you know, you gotta know that line between, you know, when something's good and when you just accomplish something. You know what I mean?
Now, you know, I just want to talk about this briefly. You know, just skyrocketing with the success, you know, the record you did with Bruno Mars. Did you feel a lot of pressure, you know, moving forward in terms because you're so diverse? You know what I mean? How do you take all these different genres of music and be able to bottle it up in one project that, you know, people that you can present to the world that you're comfortable with most of all?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta just not be boxed in. Like I actually kind of felt the pressure to make a pop album. You know what I'm saying? And you know, before Nothing on You or Airplanes came out, that sound didn't exist in the pop world. That wasn't a pop sound. Like,
wasn't accepted.
You know,
it was a time when hip hop wasn't accepted.
Yeah, and so I don't feel like I didn't feel like I needed to do it again. You know, I didn't feel like I needed to be pressured into making like radio records or making these type of records. So I really had to really kind of step out on a limb with this project and just say whatever I wanted to say, you know, and not like edit. There was a time I would really like say something, I would rap a verse, and then be like, dang man, that's kind of vulgar. We should like clean that up some. And now I'm just like, man, fuck that. Like, just whatever, man. Like, just say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
from the most,
be who you are.
Yeah, from
own it and keep
all
it
that. And you know, and even with, you know, just things that are personal to me, like, you know, things that I need to be, you know, vulnerable to say. You know, things that I need to kind of be bold and courageous to say or whatever. You know, it's all out there on this album.
Well, I mean, we have it here today. I got an exclusive copy in my hand for those out there in the virtual reality world, internet world, worldwide. The album is out right now, Underground Luxury. Let's get into it. Can we play a couple?